All right, let's dive into one of Robert Browning's most powerful poems, The Patriot. It's got this subtitle, An Old Story, and believe me, we're about to see why this shocking tale of a hero's rise and fall feels as real today as it ever has.
So, right off the bat, this is the central puzzle of the whole poem. How does someone go from being the city's greatest hero, loved by everyone, to a criminal on their way to be executed, all in the span of 1 year? It's an incredible, whiplash-inducing reversal, and Browning just drops us right into the middle of it. To really feel the weight of this tragedy, you have to see just how high he was flying before the fall. So let's rewind the clock. Let's go back to exactly 1 year ago.
I mean, just try to picture this scene. This guy isn't just getting a warm welcome, he is being absolutely showered with love. His path is literally paved with roses and myrtle. We're talking symbols of love, honor, respect. The people are going mad, just wild with celebration for him.
And this was no small get-together. The entire city was completely electric. The rooftops were so packed with people they looked like they were swaying. The church spires were covered in celebratory flags, looking like they were on fire. The very air was thick with the sound of ringing bells. This was total, citywide adoration.
At this moment, at his absolute peak, he felt invincible, godlike even. He thinks back and says, you know, if I had asked the crowd for the sun itself, they would have just said, sure, what else can we get you? He was aiming for more than just praise. He was reaching for immortality, a legacy built on this incredible glory and power.
But that perfect moment just completely shattered. So let's get to the turning point and figure out how this incredible scene just unraveled.
This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? The central mystery of the poem. He was on top of the world. What could he have possibly done to end up here, just 365 days later, facing execution? And here is the big twist. The Patriot, he flips the script. He says he didn't ask the people for the sun. He says he leaped at the sun to get it for them. See, this is the brilliance of a dramatic monologue. We're only getting his side of the story. And in his version, he's the one who did the impossible, this incredible feat, all for the people he still so heartbreakingly calls his loving friends.
Yeah, from his point of view, what he did wasn't a crime at all. It was a gift. He truly believes he brought them power, that he planted the seeds of greatness for them to enjoy. And right here, you can just feel the bitterness. He talks about his harvest, but instead of reaping gratitude or more honor, he's reaping betrayal and death. The reward for his great act is the exact opposite of everything he sowed.
And that brings us crashing back to the grim reality of the present. Let's take a look at the brutal contrast between then and now.
The crowds are still there, but the scene could not be more different. The very same people who packed the rooftops to cheer him on are now gathered at the Shambles Gate, the place for public executions, to watch him die. It's just a chilling reminder of how fast public love can curdle into hate. His final walk is just one of complete and total public humiliation. He's being dragged through the rain, his hands are tied so tightly that the rope is cutting into his skin, and the crowd, they're throwing stones at him, making his forehead bleed. All of this for what the poem just calls his year's misdeeds. But what were they? Browning never tells us, and that's intentional. Were they real crimes, an abuse of power, or was his only misdeed just failing to be the perfect God they wanted him to be? We're left to wonder. So what do we take away from all this, from this incredibly tragic story? Let's dig into the poem's deeper message as the Patriot faces his final moments. You can really map out his entire journey in these 4 stages. It starts with that incredible public adoration, which leads to some heroic deed, which is then met with this sudden, shocking betrayal. And in the end, his only hope, his only comfort, is looking toward divine justice. In his final moments, the Patriot has this huge shift in perspective. He completely gives up on earthly justice. He's realized the world has judged him wrong, but he believes that God knows the real story. And in that, he finds this strange sense of peace, even optimism. He's convinced that in death, God will finally give him the reward he actually earned. He feels safer in God's hands than he ever did in the hands of the people. So, ultimately, the Patriot is this timeless warning about the rise and fall of fortune. It's a stark, powerful reminder that public love is temporary. The same crowd that puts you on a pedestal can be the very same one that leads you to the gallows. And that leaves us with this final thought to chew on.
The poem is called an old story for a reason. This kind of thing has happened over and over again throughout history. But it really makes you ask, when the story changes that fast, who gets to decide who is the hero and who is the villain? Who is really in control of the narrative?